Hey, hey Miranda, it's Chubby Bear. How you doing? So happy to always get your videos. I love your videos, and I'm always so happy to see that you have posted something. So I have to do a video response to your latest video where you shared your recent thoughts and experiences with us. So first of all, I want you to know that when I saw that you had posted a video, I gotta watch the time because I forgot my timer in the other room. I thought, wow, look at how pretty you are tonight. I mean, you had this beautiful makeup and you just are looking good. Every time I see you, you look better and better. Like the beautiful you is coming to the surface. It's no longer hidden behind all that fat, and you can just see it coming forth. And then I hear this video about how you're not ever going to be skinny and you're never going to be as pretty as your sister, and all I have to say to that is, because, I mean, if it's the sister I think I saw once in a video, I mean, honey, you're going to be just as pretty, if not prettier, and I just don't want you to feel that way. So, and then this whole thing about not being proud of yourself. Honey, be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for the simple fact that you took responsibility for your life and your body. And you're making all this effort and you're making all this progress. And okay, so you still have 100 or 2 or whatever. I don't know what your goal weight is. But I remember when I started out and I had, well, my highest weight was about 390. That was recorded. I probably went as high as 400 at some point in my life. I was off the doctor's scales for years before they invented those big digital ones. I remember years ago, before they invented the digital scales that our bariatric doctors use, they used to have to wheel fat people down to like the shipping and receiving department of the hospital and put them on like this industrial scale. It was horrible. So there was a long time I didn't weigh myself. But when I started this particular process with bariatric surgery, I weighed about 390 or 380. And by the time I got to surgery, I was 330, about where you are now. And now I'm at 208. And I haven't been this small since I was very young. Well, not a kid, but a young adult. And you know, the possibilities of me going smaller than a size 16 are almost unfathomable. I used to say, oh, I'd kill to be a size 16. Well, here I am, size 16. And very grateful. So, you know what? You're going to continue to lose weight, and you're going to look better and better, and you're going to feel better and better. And you know what? That's what's important. Fat prejudice. You know, maybe you talked about how you were isolated for a long time and so you didn't go out, so maybe you were sort of protected from that. But yeah, it's real. And I think every fat person has experienced it. We don't like to really talk about it. It tends to be our most embarrassing and humiliating, you know, times of our life. Wow, the lighting in here is not very flattering, huh? Oh well. But yeah, been there. You know, I've had marriage proposals contingent upon me losing 40 pounds. I've had speech after speech after speech after speech after speech of how I'm practically perfect in every way, but I want to love you, but I can't because you're fat. My ex and I broke up, just as my father had predicted. My father had a little speech with me when I brought my ex home to meet him, telling me that no one loves a fat person. They're embarrassed to be seen with them, and if I didn't lose weight, I was going to lose my ex. And he was right. Within 6 months, my ex gave me the speech that, you know, once again, practically perfect in every way, but couldn't love me. He'd been waiting for me to get thin so that he could. Personally, I find that to be a big excuse for their own hang-ups. But I do find that there is prejudice, mostly among single people who think you're trying to date them. I've noticed at work the only people who will go to lunch with me are gay men and married men, because the straight men are terrified that someone might recognize them with me and assume we're together. and they're just terrified. They'll go out in a group, but they won't go out one-on-one. And if I say, hey, let's go grab a sandwich while we work on this project, they think I'm like asking them for a date or marriage or something ridiculous. So yeah, there is some fat prejudice, and there is some resistance, and there is some embarrassment by people who are shallow, by people who run their lives by what other people think, which is really pathetic, because in order to run your life to keep everybody else happy, you have to lie, you have to be things you're not, and it compromises your integrity. And I tend to not get close to those kinds of people. I have lots of different friends, but the people that I really want to be close to and hang out with and spend real time with, I require integrity. So they can't be extremely codependent and having everybody else run their life, because then I get caught up in the drama and the dishonesty and the lies, and it's just too stressful. So maybe now that you're out and about, you're going to run into this fat prejudice. But I'm going to give you my motherly words, the same words I give my daughter, Jillian, who is also a YouTuber. Her name is Butterfly Kiss 3. Honey, you got to dig through the rubble to find the gems, and they'll be worth it when you find them. Pick and choose your friends, pick and choose your companions. And I know you're talking about partying, but let me tell you something, Amanda. When I first met you, and I can't remember how I bumped into your videos, it was when I was first starting to YouTube, and I think I found you through, somebody else's list of subscriptions or something. But my first reaction was, oh my gosh, what a cool chick. I loved your personality. I loved your smarts. Then I watched another video of yours where you did some sort of a music parody, and I cracked up. And you know what I thought? I thought, if I lived in her town, I would track that girl down, because I would love to party with her. So, okay, I'm old and I may not be cool like you and your friends at where you live, but that's how you come across. Very cool, very smart, very talented, very warm, an incredible person. So I just want you to hang on to that and know that you're beautiful and know that you're doing great, and that even though people can be insensitive, sometimes they don't mean to be insensitive. When they say, oh, go in the back room and find the big girl, sometimes that's just something that makes you stand out from everybody else in the crowd, and it's not necessarily meant to be a put down. I know I've used that phrase before, and I didn't mean it as a put down. I meant it as a way of identification, sort of like the lady with the bright red hair, or the guy with the green mohawk, or the person with a whole bunch of earrings. I mean, there are some things that people do, or a look that they have, that makes them easily identifiable from the rest of the crowd. So although some people do have issues, some people just don't mean it to be personal. So maybe back when you were 18, that was what that person was doing. He was just trying to make it clear who you were and didn't mean it as a put down. Who knows? Anyway, I just wanted to give you a big cyber hug and let you know that you are way okay and way cool. Okay? Keep in touch. Chin up. It's going to be alright. Bye.